Another Sunday out in the nature with my 1090 adventure. I decided to make this short video to summarize, after 6 months of use, my impressions about the motorcycle, and also show shortly what I have added during this time. And I can say that I added plenty of things on it, and still a couple of more to go. I think well, let's begin with the most substantial addition, that is Dunlop Trailmax Mission tire. So you can see condition of the tire after roughly 8,000 kilometers driven. So both front and rear tires are in good shape, apart from the fact that I had few punctures on them. They're performing well. Was it worth the money? I guess yes. I don't have any major or minor complaints about them. The handling on those tires is good at any conditions, with exception of dry grass and wet grass. So all the rest, I think I'm quite happy. So what else I added to the bike? Let's begin from the front. You can see here is the headlight guard, a little bit flimsy thing from KTM, but it does the job well. Then I replaced the stock tall touring seat with the short one, not seat, but windscreen with the short one, because it made a lot of difference in the hot summer days, and driving off-road. Only can say the positive things about it. Up here also you can see installed Touratech GPS holder. One of the major things with 1090 was a wobbly front. Basically this whole structure with the headlight and instrument panel while driving on rough terrain was vibrating a lot, and this vibration was just increasing. So from company Triple Clamp, I have placed the brace that holds the front together, and this brace also can be used as installation base for the steering damper that I haven't done yet. So here also installed optional outlet for charging. I don't know, KTM is trying to save pennies, obviously. But here we have a little bit of front fender riser from Touratech that provides sufficient clearance in the muddy conditions. Here is a little bit tougher KTM skid plate, optional lower crash bars, and the upper crash bars from Touratech. Moving forward, you can see the KTM Power Parts seat. That's made a lot of difference for me, because the seat is taller and a little bit firmer, and so I can ride very long distances without any issues. So moving down here is the carbon protector for the engine from both sides. Then we have a rally pegs. Rally pegs is something that made huge difference in how much more comfortable all the drive suddenly became. So I can say one of the first things to do on any bike is to really install these specs. They're like fantastic. So from R&G, here we have a frame plug. From Rottweiler Performance we have a brake cylinder guard, a little bit of bling, optional bling from KTM. Here we have a Touratech cases on both sides. On both sides they are same size. Because of that, my right side is quite a bit wider, but I think I opted for a larger bag instead of having to think where I should generate additional space. So also here you can see this small compartment for tools and whatnot. Another tail bag from KTM Power Parts. I find it really nice and really well thought out, and I'm using it, just bring my tools in that bag and practically on every ride. So yes, as I said, also from this side we have carbon fiber protection. Then as you can see, the hand guards are also this optional aluminum thing with a little bit of shiny bling on the top of it. Then Touratech mirrors, foldable mirrors. I think they're like, I like them by design better than double take, but that's just me. So another thing is here, mounting point for my mobile phone. And now to software. I have added the off-road mode. Works really well, and I am happy with this addition. So I think that is mostly it from things that I've added. Oh no, look, this small thing was hiding here. This is the optional road lock that basically locks the disc in place, like sort of anti-theft device. I'm really happy with the way it is designed and fitted on the bike. Very useful small thing. So now I think we have covered it all. Maybe I have forgotten some smaller items. What I want to say about really about user friendliness of the bike and my thoughts after in this 16,000 kilometers driven with the last 6 months time since I bought this bike. I think it's like really good and comfortable machine for both highway and dirt roads. Reasonably well it performs in single tracks in the forest, in the mountains. Of course there is a limitation due to the size of the bike. You cannot do the same things as you would with 790 or with 690, especially with 690 I would say. But this is one of the most universal vehicles available, and one of the things I really like about the bike is that they kept this sort of dash instead of TFT display, because I find it more useful because of the size of the digits. Digit sizes are, let's say, much bigger, and so you can see the things like the temperature, like time, like pretty much everything, much better than on these TFT displays where sort of displays of the good size, but for some reason the digits are so small so that especially on a rough terrain you cannot see much on there. So I'm really happy about this dash. What I think I will need to do definitely, but only the cost was holding me back, is to replace my rims. Otherwise I will destroy them in next 5 to 10,000 kilometers. In my driving style, I think I'm gonna go for wheels from R version of the bike. So I'm gonna replace those. Also, then some adjustment on the front fender will be needed because this ordinary version is not fitting our version's wheel sizes, but then I think it's a quite straightforward adjustment, or at the end of the day you can just buy the front fender for our size wheel. And also I think the suspension will need to be replaced, because again, for majority of the things that this bike is meant for, it's perfect and sufficient. For the things I'm doing with it, it's suffering, let's put it that way. So, and I don't want the bike to feel uncomfortable with the terrain and with the riding style I'm doing, which is like it was not meant for it, with this suspension and wheels and things like that. So I think I will need to do these adjustments, and then I'm pretty much done with it, I think, and I can ride forward with as I said, 16,000 kilometers ridden in 1 year. I would be able to do roughly 30k on this bike during 1 year, as a half year is 16. So, and let's see what I can say later on from the problems. Again, what kind of problems I faced was I had a couple of times oil leak. One was coming from the faulty bolt, like in a factory. That was replaced by the dealer. And the second time it was not properly tight bolts after oil change at the dealer service. So apart from that, I had no technical issues with the bike, none. So yeah, that's my video. Sorry, it was a little bit long, but yeah, I hope I gave you some insight. If you have some questions, ask in the comments and I will be glad to answer.